Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you my holiday makeup look that I created using the new Tartelette in Bloom palette, and I'm still loving this guy just as much as I was when I first tried it in my first impression video. And I used it to create this dramatic and sultry look that I wasn't even planning on doing until it just kind of came into this. I'm kind of totally digging how it turned out though, and I love this lip. It just screams glam. So if you guys want to see how I created this look, keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my new videos. Alright, let's get started. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and applying that to the face with the Real Techniques foundation brush. Then I'm using the Beauty Blender to smooth it out and work that foundation into the skin. Then to set, I'm using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish Powder, and I hit pan, but I use this stuff all the time. Then I'm using it to set just the brows and the eyelids for now, leaving the rest of the face and moving on to brows. I'm using the Almay brow pencil to fill and shape them in, focusing on defining that arch and extending the length. Then to set the brows, I'm running some Anastasia brow gel through them, and this is great for brushing out any harsh edges. I'm all out of eye primer, so I'm using what's left in this tube of Nars concealer and using it on the lids to prepare them for shadow. And for that, I'm using the new Tartelette in Bloom palette. I'm so in love with it. Make sure to check out my first impression video for all the details. And then I'm starting with this light matte shade called Flower Child and applying that all over the lid as a base. Next, I'm digging into Charmer, an even lighter shadow, and using that on my brow bone. It's the perfect color for this. Then I'm going in with a light brown and blending brush and applying this shadow to my crease, really following the shape of my eye to get that color on there. Then I'm using Rebel, one of my favorite colors in this palette, and a MAC 217 brush and applying that over top of the color we just placed down, but focusing this one to the outer edges of the eye. I kept slowly applying color until I was happy with the look. Then I took a pencil brush that I didn't have time to clean before this video and used that same shadow and went back in to define the outer crease, creating like a soft cut crease effect. And I was really liking how it was starting to look, but a fluffy blending brush was necessary at this step to make sure everything was well blended. And now it was time for a little sparkle, and for this I used Funny Girl and my MAC 242 brush and started by pressing that onto the lid. I really like this shadow because it has some shimmer, but it doesn't have a lot of fallout, and it's not super sparkly like some shadows, but with that said, you do have to keep building it up, which I did, so it was just glam enough for me. And then for eyeliner, I started by using a liquid pen liner to give me a guideline for this NYX matte liquid liner I'm using next. It's super liquidy and you have to have a really steady hand when using it, but it gives you the most flawless lines. I got a little carried away, and the best thing to do is take a break from that eye and try the next one in the meantime. Finally, I went back in with that warm brown again to define the shadow just a bit more, and then once the eyeliner was on, I applied some mascara and some false lashes. I used a wipe under the eyes to clean up the fallout from the shadows and then went in with some under eye concealer, which was the Kevin Aucoin Skin Enhancer. I blended it all in with the Beauty Blender, and this also helped to define the edges of my eyeliner. I used the Benefit Professional Powder and my Beauty Blender to set the under eyes, and my tip when using this stuff is make sure you're all done with your concealer and you don't plan on fixing it, because once this stuff sets, that's it. It's set. It's very matte, so it's not easy to go back in and blend it. To set the rest of the face now that the foundation has been sitting on the skin long enough to adjust, I'm using that MAC powder and brushing it all over the face. Then I'm using the shimmery brown and that pencil brush again and applying this to the lower lash line, bringing the color as far as the start of the pupil and then working back. And then I noticed that dreadful fallout, so I applied some powder underneath and used a smaller brush with Rebel and focused that to the outer edge of the lash line, connecting it out to the top shadow. Then I applied some of the lighter shimmer I used on the lid to the tear duct, applied some mascara to the bottom lashes, and then it was time for the rest of the face. I used my Hoola bronzer and applied it to the cheeks to add some color and light contour before taking it up along the temples and hairline to warm up the rest of the face. I also used some along the bridge of the nose to define that a little bit too, and then for blush I used Beige from Illamasqua, and this has so much pigment, so I made sure to dab a lot of it off on my hand before applying it to the apples of the cheeks. I added a little bit of highlight, of course, to the tops of my cheekbones using the Champagne Pop highlighter, and then it was time for lips. I used the Kevyn Aucoin medium lip liner to line and fill them in, then I used the Milani Matte Confident lipstick on top. It was hard finding a color to complement the eyes, and I wasn't really sure about this color, so I added the NYX Vamped Up Black Lip Top Coat, that's a tongue twister, on top, and it's a product that darkens up your lipsticks. So cool, right? And that's my holiday makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you liked how the makeup turned out, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any new videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.